Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's January 31st, and right now we are looking at the Doppler radar, Northern California. So we got Eureka, California here. Move down the coast towards Fort Bragg. There's Fort Ross and San Francisco to the bottom right. But I wanted to point out that there is already moderate and heavy rainfall occurring in many of the areas up here in the narrow cold frontal rain band, with the torrential rainfall is just now about to make landfall. And this is going to bring some extreme flooding concerns with some areas, some urban and small stream flooding. There's going to be roadways submerged. There's going to be rock slides and landslides going on. So try not to be out and about when this comes across the area over the next few hours. It's going to get really dicey out here across Northern California. And this is also going to propagate down much of the state. Probably the worst of it is going to be here across Northern California. But however, very heavy rainfall amounts expected for the Bay Area, down the Central Coast, all the way into Southern California. And the wind is really picking up here as well. And as this cold front passes, it's going to be some very intense wind and probably some power outages and some tree damage associated. And we're going to dive into some of those details. We got through the video here this morning, taking a look at this just 100% cinnamon roll action off the coastline there. Look at that subtropical tap back down towards the Hawaiian Islands. And this is our next storm system out here. Yes, we got another one coming here, folks. A very potent system. Looks like it's going to develop somewhere right off the coast of California. It could be big impacts with that storm. This is day one excessive rainfall outlook. No surprises. This front makes its way down the coastline, and tomorrow includes Los Angeles and the San Diego metros. Look at some of these wind gusts already. 80 miles per hour, Humboldt County here. Look at the 76. You got a lot of areas up over 60, 50 miles per hour. Move down the coast, and you can really see the wind already ripping here with this storm system, tightening up that pressure gradient and all the way down towards the Bay Area, gusting, especially across the higher terrain. I mean, just wild out there. Look at Mount Diablo, 61 miles per hour already, and the frontal system's not even here, and it's going to pack quite a punch when it does arrive. And there's high wind warnings and wind advisories going on. Much of the I-5 corridor across the entire state will be included. Gusts 70 plus above 900 feet and 2,500 feet in these areas of orange and on the coastal areas as well. Very gusty winds incoming here, and the wind advisories include some of Sacramento and up towards Red Bluff and Redding and Chico, and there's going to be some gusts up towards 60 with that. I almost kind of wondered if they should have put out a high wind warning for some of that action. We'll look at that in the North American model here in a moment. And look at Sacramento. I mean, the National Weather Service map here just looks like a fruitcake. There's so much going on. We got winter storm warnings. We got flood advisories. We got flood warnings, winter weather advisories. I mean, we got everything. And I'll show you some of that here starting now, actually, as we got the winter storm warning that goes from 10 a.m. this morning to 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. So all the way up to Saturday morning. Snow total accumulations 1 to 2 feet, locally 3 feet, mountain peaks, southerly winds 65. And it's going to be higher across some of the ridges and exposed areas as well. And of course, this is going to be including Interstate 80, Donner Pass, and Highway 50. And again, all the way through Saturday morning. Here's day 1 through 3 overall winter storm impacts. And just kind of giving you the visual representation here. It is going to include some of the higher elevations of Southern California also, but there could be some major and extreme travel issues going back and forth across some of these passes, so heads up for that. Wind advisory, this does include Merced, Fresno, Bakersfield here. And that's for gusts to 45 miles per hour. This goes through 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and also have a high wind warning for the Grapevine. Watch out back and forth across the I-5 corridor. Tehachapi, you are under the high wind warning as well, gusts to 65. And this is for Southern California. Winter storm warning is now in effect all the way through Friday morning. Wind gusting 50, and you can see the snowfall 2 to 6, 6 to 7,000 feet, 6 to 12 inches, 7 to 8,000, and 1 to 2 feet above 8,000 feet. Travel could be difficult to impossible at times, and the gusty winds could bring some power outages. Now look at some of the precipitation totals up towards, you're looking up towards Eureka here, and 3 inches in a 24-hour period. And from what that Doppler radar looked like, you're going to have some areas that exceed this just flat out. And there's going to be some flooding issues up there as well. So again, stay home and stay off the roads if you can. If you're off in the backcountry, get a safe place. You don't want to be caught up in any of those rock slides or getting trapped back there in some of those communities if you don't have to be. Now, looking at the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, it's been underdoing a little bit, I think, maybe not. I mean, it does show that moderate to heavy rain at times, but it also is picking up on that narrow cold frontal rain band. You can see where the cores and the gaps are in that rain band as it approaches the coastline, and it's kind of hanging out for a bit here between Eureka and Fort Bragg before it starts to push down to the south. And again, very heavy rainfall and gusty winds are going to be associated with that, and that's probably moving across right between 5 to 7 p.m. tonight for some of the Bay Area that could affect the commute. And this is going to move down the central coast. Look at Santa Barbara as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning for Los Angeles and San Diego. And at least the frontal system is not going to hang up over any given area because it's going to bring heavy enough rain as it is. And then we bring the showery weather here as we go through the day Thursday. I'm going to back up a little bit, and you can see some thunderstorm activity could be associated with that as we bring that cooler air mass. We continue to pile up some of the snow across the Sierra Nevada onto Thursday and into Friday as well. Now, looking at the thunderstorm potential here up and down the state, this is goes on for Thursday right now, but there is the coastal thunderstorm threat as we go through the day today. And this is max accumulated 10-meter wind gusts here, and it's already underdoing a lot of this, but it just kind of shows you the general gist of things. And look at some of these winds, Modesto, Sacramento, up towards Chico. You could be getting gusts up over 60 miles per hour. So I was kind of wondering if they would put out a high wind warning. They have not, as far as I know right now. They may have updated it here recently, but yeah, some pretty intense winds here coming across some of the I-5 corridor up and down central and northern California. And you can see the big winds across the Sierra Nevada and southern California as well. And even some very gusty winds down towards the coastal areas, maybe Oceanside and San Diego here also. Now, 3-hour peak winds. This is recently issued here from the National Weather Service, San Francisco. Look at Pine Mountain Fire Road, 70 miles per hour, 1,700 feet. And you can see the winds really kicking up for many locations. Now, let's back this up, and you can see the wave action. I just want to kind of keep this in the back of your mind that we are going to have some wave action going on here. As you can see, this propagate down the entire state as we go on in through Friday morning. Tiny bit of a relaxment there, and then the next system really gets firing up off the coastline here as well. So heads up for that. And you can see there's high surf advisories out there right now. Eureka, California, 20 to 23-foot breakers for west-facing beaches. Keep your children and your pets and yourself out of the surf area there where the breakers are. You guys know the drill. Don't turn your back on the ocean. And you got storm warnings. You got high surf advisories. Look at some of these breaking waves, 22 to 26 feet for some of this Bay Area here. So yeah, you guys know the drill. Not a good day to be out there in a boat. And of course, this wave action is going to go all the way down through Southern California, and some big wind gusts accompanying it with it as well. Now, taking a look at the next storm system, we got the Canadian on the left, we got the GFS on the right. This is hot off the presses. Let's put this into motion. You can see our frontal system now kicking through, but then you can see this chilly air aloft, this trough just sitting here waiting for the subtropical and this tropical moisture just to come and meet it, and a potent storm system likely to develop here. And this is going to have some very heavy rainfall potential, some big winds with it as well. I mean, look at the GFS wants to bring just a monster low very close to the Bay Area here, and really bring some interesting rainfall amounts across some areas of the state. I mean, some of the model runs have been showing just some extremely heavy precipitation amounts across portions of Southern California here as well. And I'm going to show you what the European shows in a moment, because it looks pretty darn right sinister. And this is it. So this is the most recent European. This was actually at 060 last night, and this is a 0Z of yesterday afternoon. So put this into motion. There goes our frontal system. There's our trough hanging out, just waiting for this subtropical moisture. And look at some of this action here. I mean, the European actually a pretty big shift in the models here, but still showing the very potent storm. But I want you to watch this as we go through Sunday afternoon. Now we're on into Sunday night, and look at the rainfall. Very heavy rain starts for Southern California, portions of Santa Barbara, Ventura County, maybe the Los Angeles metro. These are 6-hour chunks here, folks. That's not moving. That would be devastating flooding. I mean, we're going to have to be sounding some serious alarms if what the European is showing was to come to fruition, because this is no joke. You could be talking about a very high-end flooding event for some of Southern California here. So we really have to watch that. And in fact, I know that the 12Z is actually running right now. So let me just go ahead and look at that, because we're just going to have to take a look. This is just too important to just kind of gloss over. But there we go with our frontal system. This is hot off the presses. I have not looked at this yet. So here we go with our trough. Let's see how the storm develops. Is there any change coming up here? You can see kind of a warm frontal feature there reaching the coastline, and we don't get quite far enough out here, but you can clearly see the storm's development here. And again, there's going to be high-end potential for some flooding with this system, because we're already going to saturate things quite well with the initial frontal system. Now, I want to give you guys a visual diagram or a visual representation of what's going on. We've got 500 millibars here on the left of the GFS, 18,000 feet. You can see the mid-latitude cyclone currently going on. And look at this plume of moisture all the way up towards Oregon here, all the way back towards the Hawaiian Islands. Very rich moisture with very cold air aloft. It's like dropping ice cubes into a deep fryer. Now, as we continue on into the next storm, look at this plume of moisture, subtropical and tropical tap all the way back. And look at this polar low, very cold air aloft being brought up in front of that mid-latitude cyclone, the big yin and yang and the battle, the clash of air masses here. And again, this may be hanging out over some portions, anywhere from the Bay Area down towards Southern California. If it hangs out for, 12, 24 hours over any given location, you're looking at a high-end flooding event. So we got to watch that really carefully here over the next few days. And now looking at our crystal ball, this is mean sea level pressure. So we know what the system out here is doing right now. So if we look on into the European as of last night, you can clearly see that storm system is less murky than it was yesterday. We are really increasing confidence on the development of that storm system right off the coastline there. So even though the spaghetti noodles are getting kind of crazy here, and that's why they call it a spaghetti chart with the noodles all over the place, it is still showing that system. Very good model agreement. Looking at San Francisco, here goes the frontal passage, and then this would be the secondary potential system there. Same thing for Bridgeport, frontal passage and secondary storm system, Half Moon Bay. Look at some of these gusts. You're up towards 60 miles per hour in the ensemble mean, and then that secondary system, you can see some of these actually. There's a couple of over 70 miles per hour here. And look at Santa Monica. So, this kind of shows you this initial frontal system up over 3 inches in a 24-hour period, just ridiculous amounts. And then the secondary system, you can imagine running this back up over saturated soils, and there's probably going to even be some locally higher amounts in 24-hour period with the way that storm is lining up. Looking at Lake Tahoe as well. So this is the pattern change coming. You can really see the crash in the temperatures as we go through tomorrow afternoon. Big Bear down through Southern California as well as we go through Thursday night. And now looking at National Blended Models. So this is hot off the presses, the 15Z run. This is marking that frontal system. And again, some locally very heavy amounts of rainfall up and down the coastline. And then we wait as we go through Saturday night. The system will be bearing down Sunday morning. We go through Sunday and we start bringing some rainfall in here and now into Monday morning, into Monday night. And look at some of these rainfall amounts just really ramp up across Southern California. 15 plus inches. Are you kidding me? Look at some of these amounts. So yeah, we really have to watch this closely here, folks. This could be a high-end flooding event with that secondary storm coming in. And this is looking at total snow. As you can see, we're starting to pile that up as we go through the day today and tomorrow. Really going to be building some of that snow across the Sierra Nevada. And as we go through Friday as well, we're still going to be showering, have that cooler air mass moving in. So we're probably going to keep some of that snow going on all the way on in through Saturday morning. And that's why that winter storm warning extends into Saturday morning. 6 to 10 day, no surprise there. And of course, the precipitation bullseyed here across a lot of the Southwest. And here we're looking at the California snowpack, and hopefully we start to build this up here over the next few days. It'll be fun to watch once the snow starts flying. Drought monitor, California doing good. Hopefully these systems, actually they will be. These are going to bring some nice precip amounts across Arizona and New Mexico. So hopefully you can start to alleviate some of those drought concerns there. But as you can see, California completely drought free. But anyway, yeah, we're going to do another live stream probably on Friday night, I want to say, because if that storm system continues to trend like that, I will 100% do another live stream aside from all the, of course, daily briefings that I normally do. But yeah, be prepared out there, folks. Don't leave yourselves in low-lying areas. Don't go out if you have to. Just enjoy the storm from a safe location if you can. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll break everything down again, and I will talk to you guys then.